What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hugo Smokes. I'm your host, Hugo, and today I'm going to be smoking and reviewing the JC Newman Yagua in a 6x54 Toro format. And this cigar here consists of a USA Connecticut Broadleaf wrapper over binders and fillers from Nicaragua. And this cigar here was actually sent into the channel from Greg of Tip Top. You guys know who I'm talking about. If you don't, then you probably want to do a Google search real quick. But thank you, Greg, for sending this cigar in. It's a cigar that's been on my radar for quite some time now. It was originally released in 2020 for production. It was introduced at the IPCPR trade show in 2019. And this cigar here is rolled and fermented or curated in a pretty particular and unique way. The wrappers are pulled out early from the aging piles, so they're under fermented. The wrapper is applied to the cigars over the binder, obviously, and after there's a bunch of 20 cigars, they are wrapped in palm trees so they can continue fermenting until they're ready. This method was actually introduced by JC Newman Spensa Factory in Esteli's general manager, Lázaro Lopez, who shared that this is a method that was actually done by his grandfather. So goes back to the old school Cuban, I guess, do-it-yourself type of cigar rolling. So there you go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this nice wrapper that's pretty rustic in appearance. And if I was to look at this wrapper and didn't know that it was a Connecticut, I would say this is like a Corojo wrapper because it's not dark at all. And the nice Yagua there. So because these cigars are wrapped in a circular type of bunch and then just like put to stacked up on each other, their end shape is like pretty unique and rare. So this one's kind of got like some straight edges, and then at the foot it's like oblique. So every cigar has a unique shape, but that's what it is. All right, let's go ahead and cut the cap and see how the draw is. So getting some like stale fermented notes, very funky notes on the cold draw, to be honest with you. So I don't know. Interesting cigar. Let me go ahead and light it up and see what we get. All right, definitely some bitter coffee notes coming off of the initial few puffs here. Some danky earthiness also on the palate. And there's like a fermented note on here that's like, there's a drink in the Mexican culture called pulque, which is pretty much fermented fruit. It's kind of like your cider, so it's similar. It's got that fermented taste on it. I'm getting that from the initial puffs as well, but pretty smooth, not very aggressive, to be honest with you, and a little bit of white pepper on the long finish. So let's go ahead and see what the retrohale has to offer. All right, definitely some nice sweet bready / creamy notes on the retrohale as the main elements coming through. A lingering amount of some bitterness, might be citrus, might be coffee, not really developed yet. And a little bit of like a woody note, maybe like a oak, that's perceivable on the long finish. The retrohale sting is very minimal, like about a 2 or 3 out of 10. Very nice creamy smoke. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to keep smoking this cigar down. Let me go ahead and smoke it down past the first third, and I'll be back for my first update. Welcome back. I am at the end of the first third of this Yagua. As you can see, the burn line's a bit wavy, but it's burning fine, and the ash is nice and white, very flaky ash, which felt a little bit after I cut the video, but it was because I tapped it on my ashtray. Nonetheless, great construction on this Yagua. So notes are pretty consistent with startup. If anything, you know, the spice has built up a little bit, so now getting more of that white spice on the palate, and still experiencing bitter coffee roasted notes on the palate as a main note, and danky earth, and that's still that fermented type of note coming in on the palate. On the retrohale, other than the bitter coffee and the citrus oak notes, that bready component is now more of a like a burnt molasses type of sweetness, which is sweet but kind of dark at the same time, something like that. And the retrohale sting also increased from a 2 to 3 out of 10 to like about a 5 or 6 out of 10 now. So it's medium plus, definitely. Quite a unique flavor profile for a Connecticut Broadleaf cigar. Probably the fermentation process has to do with it, but nonetheless, quite enjoyable. So let me keep smoking this down past the second third, right below this primary band, and I'll be back for my next update. Welcome back. I'm at the end of the second third of this Yagua. The ash just fell before this take, but the burn line is still a little bit wonky. Did touch it up once here in the middle of the second third. But the dominating note here in the second third is a charred floorness coming through, along with some oak notes on the palate as well as a secondary note, and roasted coffee that's still semi-bitter, and lime zestiness that's also bitter, and it's apparent on the very long finish as well. Retrohale sting continues to be a solid medium, like about a 5 on the scale of 10. And now experiencing some black pepper to the retro as a main note, secondary floorness, and some bitter herbal notes as well on the retrohale. An underlying tone of like a fermented note still coming through on the very long finish. And that's pretty much all I got to report here on the second third. Let me keep smoking this cigar down as far as I can, and I'll be back for my final update and closing thoughts on this Yagua. Welcome back. I am at the end of this JC Newman Yagua. As you can see, the burn line finally caught up. I did touch it up again here in the last third though. But the main notes here in the last third, just getting an herbal bouquet on the palate, charred oak, and a mix of white pepper that's stinging a little bit. On the retrohale, still getting floralness and a very bitter, zesty herbal note as well. The retrohale sting continues to be medium plus, like a 5 to 6 out of 10. So it's quite stinging on the sinus. And that's pretty much all I'm getting. The cigar has been burning for exactly 2 hours, so pretty good bang for your buck on this Toro, to be honest. And it's available as a single, a 5-pack, and a box of 20, which comes wrapped in that palm leaf and a nice looking crate box, which is actually pretty cool. But with this initial try here, I'm gonna be rating the cigar a single or a double pickup. It just wasn't exactly my cup of tea. Lacking balance on the more sweeter or decadent notes. It's more bitter, more charred type of note. So if you like that kind of profile, you're gonna love this cigar, obviously. I want to thank Greg over at Tip Top for sending the cigar over, for allowing me to try this cigar out. Very much appreciated, Greg. Thank you. And that's pretty much all I have on the review. Don't forget to catch the Stogie Society podcast that goes on Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And as always, I'll link the YouTube up here so you could subscribe to it. And thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.